Jack and Jill went up the hill and made a really shitty movie. Well, soulmates, welcome back to another unfortunate case of movie. My name's SoulKeever.
And I'm Astrid.
And we just watched Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill on Stars.
Yeah, what is it doing on Stars? What is wrong with you?
Stars has That's My Boy and anger management right now, and I just want to know what they're doing scraping the bottom of the barrel. Are they just taking like Netflix's dregs or something?
Right? Like, you guys have Outlander. You don't need to do this to yourselves.
Jesus Christ, guys. Have some pride. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
on.
Why Jack and Jill?
Why?
Who signed a contract for that?
Right? Who do you owe?
Maybe someone like made a bet that they couldn't like get people to watch this, and then we're the suckers.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, man. What did you expect this movie was gonna be?
All right, so here's the thing. I've seen this movie before a while ago.
Yeah, but you forgot.
But it was so unmemorable that I didn't remember a single thing about it. Like, I remember that Al Pacino did his thing. I didn't even remember that Al Pacino was, like, hound dogging after poor Jill. That's how little I remembered about this movie. So I assumed it was going to be some twin shtick, but...
Which it kind of was, in some regard.
It was, but I thought they would have gotten along better than they do. I didn't realize it was going to be the tired old, she's a shrew and I'm an everyman.
Yeah.
Which is what we got. Thanks, Adam Sandler.
You know, I've seen this movie I've seen this movie 4 times now.
I'm sincerely sorry to hear that, SoulKeever. That's miserable.
Because I remember I watched it the one time with you a while back.
Yeah.
And then I watched it one time in preparation for this, maybe... I don't even know if it was preparation. I just watched it for the hell of it, like last month or something. And then I watched it again.
Like yesterday, right?
Yeah. And then I might have seen it 5 times, to be perfectly honest, because I think I've been playing this multiple times on Stars. Like, I'm the sucker that watches it like 4 times on Stars.
You're the reason why Stars still has this movie. They're like, man, we're really getting some views on this.
We gotta keep this movie around. We're getting some serious hits off this Joker.
They're like, some of our movies, good movies, we'll put them up and they'll get 1 hit in a month. Some sucker's been watching this movie like 5 times. They watched That's My Boy 3 times. I don't know what's in the water in this area, but we gotta keep these movies up.
Man, if you ever wonder why your streaming service has Garbo movies on it, I'm probably the reason.
He is single-handedly skewing the results. He does it to my Netflix queue, too. Guys, you got no idea. It's the worst. It's the worst.
Her timeline is filled with trash.
It's the worst.
Trash. Her Amazon is filled with trash.
Right?
Her Netflix is filled with trash. It's a dump in there, man.
Oh, man. The only solace I had was my YouTube channel that used to not be filled with trash. And then I accidentally fucked that one up myself because I was looking up some historical costuming stuff, and now I keep getting ads about how young conservative women need to be able to come out as they are. And I was like, what? No, go away.
Well, that's your own damn fault. I didn't do that one.
I know. I don't know what happened.
I don't really know what I thought this movie was going to be in hindsight, because I can't remember all that well. I think I thought it was just going to have something to do with like the nursery rhyme or some bullshit.
Right, yeah. I at least expected them to go up a hill and fetch a fucking pail of water.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be something really stupid like that. Like, God, I don't know. I don't even remember how the nursery rhyme went exactly.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Oh, is that it?
Oh, shit. How does the second half go?
See?
Jack went stumbling down the hill and Jill came tumbling after. Something like that.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was just going to have like a really stupid plot like that where they go and try to retrieve something and then they're just both going to be a couple of clumsy bastards.
Like a Hansel and Gretel style thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be this.
Like a period. This is a prime opportunity to have done a period piece comedy that could have been so much better than that stupid one that Aubrey Plaza did with the nuns.
Oh, God. We don't want to talk about that. It's this nun movie that was made by her boyfriend and stars her and Alison Brie. And normally I really like Alison Brie.
Me too.
So I kind of died a little bit when I saw that movie.
Right.
I also kind of like Kate Micucci. So watching the two of them act alongside Aubrey Plaza was painful to endure.
Right. They shouldn't have the courtesy of giving them a whole script.
Ugh. It was a lousy movie, guys, and it got good reviews, and I don't know why.
Because people are pretentious.
Obviously.
And they think that was a smart movie.
And it was filled with comedians, too, and it was a drama.
Right.
What the hell?
It's a prime example of, like, in South Park when those people are sniffing their own farts.
Oh.
And they just can't get enough of it. That's what this movie is.
The smog episode, right?
Yes. And every fan who watches this movie, and they're just sniffing their farts, too. And then they get a case of the memberries.
Look how dramatic these comedic actors are.
Right. Oh, it's very intelligent. I too am smart.
Ugh, that movie belongs in a toilet.
Right.
The only thing that movie should be used for is as like a receiver for my crap.
Yeah.
A receptacle for my turds.
Yes.
Well, why don't we go into what Jack and Jill was actually like, or what it was actually about? This movie was bookended by these twin talks that kind of set the tone for the movie. And all the twins that they showed here were identical twins, right?
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I kind of noticed, just based on the movie poster, they completely fucked up the premise.
Yes, it was strange because obviously Jack and Jill are not identical twins.
No, they're like one's a boy, one's a girl. Obviously, when you have identical twins, that ain't happening because they come from the same egg.
Right, and they make it very clear that one's a boy and one's a girl because you get all those uncomfortable turfy jokes about, nope, not a guy, people upskirting poor Jill and everything else. But so they weren't the same egg. They're not identical twins, and you incorrectly set the tone for the movie by only showing identical twins of the same sex.
And to be fair, all these parts with the identical twins talking to each other and about their experience and everything, it didn't feel like a necessary part of the movie, but it felt cute and it felt nice to watch.
It was probably the only good part of the movie.
And then the actual movie started and everything kind of went downhill from there.
Right? Like the twin stuff, like those people, I mean, obviously you can tell by looking at them that they're actually twins. But there's that cute sibling relationship in there that, like, I appreciate because I had siblings growing up.
Yeah.
And there was none of that charm during the actual meat of the movie.
The entire intro, I was going, aw, and then as soon as the movie started, I went, aw.
Right? You couldn't even, like, achieve, like, Lindsay Lohan level of sibling relationship like she got in The Parent Trap when she was like, what, 11?
Yeah.
And you couldn't pull that off, Adam Sandler, in like your 40s? Really?
After he's made what, like 30 movies or something?
Right.
However many movies he's made. He's made a lot of movies.
Are you kidding me? Lindsay Lohan did like a hand clap with herself. You can't even
They can't do better than a movie that's 15 years old by this point.
Yeah. Huh.
God help us all, man.
Right? It's like he did this whole movie drunk or something. It's like he just
had to have done it drunk. I mean, it's a critical research failure that you don't know the difference between identical and fraternal twins.
Yes.
The more appropriate bookend would have been showing fraternal twins talking to each other and shit.
Oh, for sure. And, like, they definitely can still look a lot alike, and you could have made it real obvious that they were twins. I mean, you certainly made Adam Sandler look a little too much like his own old masculine self for Jill, so it's not like he couldn't have still driven the point home, but damn.
Oh, God. Jill made for a brutal-looking woman.
Right? He didn't even try and pat out the ass or anything.
He didn't try and, like, apply any kind of prosthetic or anything. He just put a wig on himself and stuffed some coconuts in his bra and called it a day.
Put on some old thrift store church lady clothes.
Yeah, he didn't do hardly anything to make himself look even remotely passable.
Right? And despite the fact that in this one scene in the end when Jack is like pretending to be Jill, so he goes into like the bathroom in this cruise ship.
Yeah, he goes in, then he shaves himself by dipping a razor in the toilet.
Which ew.
Like, what the hell? Wouldn't it have been better just to shave in front of the bathroom attendant?
Right, it really, really, really would have been.
You really want to shave in the cruise ship toilet water?
You do not. I mean, you don't really want to even be on a cruise ship. Cruise ships are nasty, but...
Yeah, cruise ships are disgusting, and you especially don't want to use the toilet on one if you can help it.
Right, and you especially don't want to make contact with your body in the toilet water.
My God, he was cutting himself using toilet water. Jesus, think about that. How did this guy not get an infection?
Oh my God, okay, that just reminds me of this time that we were camping with my aunt, and she shaved in one of those public camp room bathrooms, and then realized afterward that somebody else had left an identical razor, and then she wasn't sure which one she used, and she couldn't get it out of her mind.
Your aunt has had a lot of close calls like that.
Yes!
Like, an uncomfortable number of close calls. Because, you know, she's a nurse and she poked herself with
Stuck herself with a few needles.
Poked herself with a few needles that have been in places you don't want them to go.
Right. She's been real lucky.
One of these days, those dice are going to come up snake eyes and she's going to be fucked.
Oh, God. Ooh. Hopefully not from stranger danger razor, though.
God,
That's
right?
That's worse. That's almost worse. I think that is worse than sticking yourself with the needle.
And you know what's funny about, Jack going in here and impersonating Jill is that right after he comes out of the bathroom, he looks pretty much identical. Like, there's no way to really tell the difference between him and Jill, the character, at this point.
Right, yeah, okay. Oh, now I remember what I was going to say about this. So he goes in there and he's changing, and his character, Jack, is, like, stuffing one of those life vests, like, padding his butt out.
Yeah.
Like, to make himself more feminine shaped. And I don't believe for a second that Adam Sandler had any booty padding when he was playing Jill.
I don't think so. It didn't look like he had a big rectangle in his ass or anything, so I think he was just...
I think he just put a dress on. He put no hip padding, no butt padding. All he did was boobs. Lazy bastard.
I think he might have put some hip padding on.
I'm not confident he did.
I'm not confident he did either, but I think he might have.
I think he was way too brickish.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Adam Sandler is shaped like a refrigerator, and the glasses did not help.
He's shaped like a goddamn freezer.
He is.
You could stuff a ham in that boy.
You got poor Jill coming out looking like a linebacker. Like, that's so mean.
Jill the linebacker who can lift 3 plates at the curling station.
Like, you know what Jill reminds me of?
What?
If you ever watch RuPaul's Drag Race, every once in a while they'll do an episode where they'll bring out, like, straight guys, like regular, cis straight dudes with, like, kids and stuff, married, and they'll have the drag queens make them up, like the regular dudes, as, like, drag queens.
I bet even they look better than Adam Sandler did here.
Some of them do, and some of them look real rough.
Well, there's only so much you can do, right?
Right? And it's like the ones where the drag queens forget to pad them and stuff, like they end up looking like Jill here.
You know what's fucked up is that Jill kind of reminds me of one girl that I dated.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
She was kind of obnoxious, and honestly, she looked kind of like her too. Yeah. I mean, she was a little bit more feminine, don't get me wrong, but the resemblance is, now that I think about it in hindsight, kind of uncanny. Maybe there's a reason I broke up with her.
Maybe
I thought she looked too much like Adam Sandler.
Maybe, because you're not the biggest Adam Sandler fan I've ever met.
Even though I watch a lot of his bullshit films, I don't watch it because I admire him. I watch it because I just have an appetite for trash.
Right? Yeah, you like hate watch it. You hate watch it like people hate watch your Lead White videos.
Yeah, I make these videos on YouTube that are about art stuff, and I talk about this paint called Lead White because it's very popular amongst oil painters and stuff. So naturally, because I talk about art, it's a topic that comes up from time to time. And when I talk about, like, there's a whole, like, this weird subculture of artists that love Lead White. And they are absolute piss babies whenever I talk bad about how much lead paint is terrible. And to everyone else out there, it's perfectly reasonable because it's lead paint.
Right? You hear lead, you think toxic.
And rightfully so, because it is.
All right, especially lead paint. Lead paint is the quintessential thing you look out for that'll have lead in it in your house.
Pretty much everybody hears lead and says nope, because they have a brain in the sense that God gave them.
Yep.
But, not this subculture. They are brutally crazy.
Yep. And they will not give up their lead.
No.
They'll chew on the windowsills because it's their goddamn right as a red-blooded American.
So, just a little aside as to what the hell that's all about, guys, in case you're wondering.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back to the movie here, I just gotta say, Jill looks a little bit like a girl I used to date, and that's kind of scares me now, and makes me feel terrible about myself. To be fair, though, she was actually really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill, or the girl you used to date?
The girl I used to date. Jill in the movie is terrible.
Yes.
Jill is absolutely, obnoxious. And, Jack gets all kinds of shit for rightfully criticizing her, even though, she's doing these terrible things like insulting everyone she comes across and saying really racist shit to his son and terrible shit to the homeless guy and then answering the phone in the movie theater and stuff and riding a fucking jet ski in his pool. Jack has every right to be upset with her. He is not in the wrong here.
Did they explain where she got a jet ski?
I have no idea. She's just riding the jet ski in his pool like it's the most casual thing you could possibly do at someone's home.
Because I feel like she may have ordered that jet ski, because I don't think that was his.
How the hell did they get it in the pool, honestly?
That's my question. Be like, it wasn't sitting there. And I don't think they're, right on the coast. There was no beach scene in this
I'm pretty
movie.
sure Jack didn't give her a credit card.
Well, she's obviously got her own money.
Well, she doesn't look rich.
But their mom just died and they lived together, so she probably had an inheritance.
Oh, well, that's okay. I guess she's just pissing away the inheritance.
Plus, they live in the Bronx, so I feel like the cost of living there is not going to be as high as where Jack is living.
Maybe. I don't know. I know nothing about that, but maybe.
I mean, it's still part of New York State, but it's...
Mm-hmm.
It is no Manhattan.
Right. Okay, so maybe Jill just went out and bought a jet ski and decided to ruin his pool.
She might have. I mean, she bought an open-ended ticket.
Yeah.
So she's got some money.
Okay. Well,
I don't know what she does for a living, though.
Yeah,
they never explain.
No, they never go into it, and I guess it's not that important. I think the lesson that we're supposed to take away here is that Jill's horrible.
I don't know. I mean, we know what Jack does for a living. I want to know who the hell employs Jill and doesn't get fucking irritated. I think that's a valid question.
Probably works in one of those magazines that has to do with birds that she gets for her bird.
Ah, she does love talking to Poopsie.
Yeah, she's got a bird named Poopsie that she brings along on the trip, and it's like this. What is it? A parakeet?
No, parakeets are tiny.
Oh, I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it talks.
Parakeets are like those little budgies.
Yeah, the bird talks and repeats things that she says, like, "Where were you?" And
wait, it must be some kind of regular parrot if it's a talking bird, right?
Well, yeah, it's probably just a parrot of some kind. And she brings the bird along. The bird does all kinds of stuff with her. She loves her bird. We actually don't see that much of the bird throughout the movie.
It's a cockatoo.
Oh, it's a cockatoo? Okay.
Yellow-crested cockatoo.
All right. Well, I stand corrected, and so do you.
I like birds.
Okay.
I'm an expert in bird law.
You're bird law? What, we quoting Charlie Day here now?
Yes.
Okay. What?
How did Adam Sandler get Al Pacino for this movie?
I think that Al Pacino had to have owed somebody money for him to have even considered being in this garbage, because no one in their right mind gets into an Adam Sandler movie without having nothing to lose at that point. Because, every time Adam Sandler makes a movie and people get cast in it, he's got his little clique that he has that show up in all of his movies. So, their jobs are there. Mm-hmm. They're always going to have a job of some kind. Mm-hmm. He's going to help them make movies for them to star in, and they're going to help him make his movies.
Of course.
So, they're all set. But as soon as they bring out the outsiders, like, an Al Pacino or a starlet like Kate Beckinsale or Katie Holmes.
Poor Leighton Meester.
Leighton Meester, and That's My Boy, and Katie Holmes here, and Jack and Jill. As soon as they show up in this movie, their careers get derailed right after they appear in these because they're all crap.
And being in an Adam Sandler movie is like getting a couple's tattoo. It's the kiss of death. Really,
really it is. I mean, you gotta have other stuff going on to get out of an Adam Sandler movie unscathed. Like right. Andy Samberg, he's got stuff going on. He's got like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's got his own projects going on too. So even if this one doesn't go well, he's gonna be all right because, he's got his own other things going on. But Leighton Meester, she doesn't have a lot of other projects going on.
Right.
She shows up in this. Ooh, that's not great because she's not appearing in really anything else right now. So The movie bombs and people look at her and go, no, thank you.
Which is such a shame because I love me some Leighton Meester.
Right?
But I haven't seen her in anything recently except it was like a commercial or a PSA or something.
Oh, she's been in like stuff, but also you really can't name it.
Right, but like I fell in love with her as Blair Waldorf, and it's so sad to not see her getting her due in like leading roles. Because of you, Adam Sandler, I blame you.
Yep, Adam Sandler's movie is the reason that she is not getting roles right now. That's My Boy is why. And Jack and Jill is the reason that you really don't see Katie Holmes that much anymore.
Does Adam Sandler have a sister?
Adam Sandler? I know he has a brother that helps him run his production company.
I'm just wondering, because the thing with the Al Pacino plot is I feel like maybe they just wrote in what's actually happening. Because like the whole time in the movie, they're like, how are we going to get Al Pacino to do this shitty commercial? And I'm thinking, how'd you get Al Pacino to do this shitty movie? And so you got to catch him at a basketball game and try and talk to him, and he's not interested in talking to you, but he vaguely remembers meeting you, but he thinks your sister is hot. So it's like, does Adam Sandler actually have a hot sister that convinced him to do this movie because she's a good prostitute, as Jill put it?
I have a feeling that the answer is much simpler than that, and it's usually the reason that all big names like this do movies like this. And that answer would be money, dear boy.
Money. Mm-hmm.
The reason that Laurence Olivier did so much trash in the 70s and 80s.
Money.
Money, dear boy. People asked him why he did the movie Inchin, which was a South Korean propaganda movie. Mm-hmm. And he said, money, dear boy. And they literally gave him briefcases full of money to make that movie.
I like briefcases full of money.
Briefcases full of money at remote locations.
What?
Yeah. Like they would fly him to an area where they would give him part of his money, and then they would fly him to the set where he would do his part, and then they'd fly him back, and then they repeat the process all over and give him more money.
Like kidnappers.
A little bit, except they were actually paying him to make the movie.
What's with the remote location drop-off?
I don't know.
We're gonna make the drop here. What are they talking to Laurence Olivier with one of those electronic voice changers?
They might have been. I don't know. It was such a weird thing to read. And I think that's what happened here. I think that they might have been remote location giving Al Pacino briefcases of money to appear in Jack and Jill.
Was this movie produced by Kim Jong-il?
I mean, it could have been. Might as well have been for the quality that it bore.
What the fuck? And like Al Pacino, okay. Like it's one thing to be in this movie because it's money. But they had you playing like the biggest horn dog.
Oh my God, right?
Like an aggressive, creepy horn dog. It's one thing to think Jill is sexy. It's a different thing to break into her house and go up the stairs Where are you? I just need to see that you're home.
I think that this movie really illustrates how far we've come in just the last 9 years regarding this thing. Because keep in mind, this movie was made 2011. Maybe not that long ago, but it was kind of long
ago.
Kind of longish ago, but especially long ago, considering that our attitudes, even then, were so much different than they are now.
Yeah, think about how recently the women in your life have been putting up with this crap.
Right?
This was a comedic scene. This wasn't creepy, you're being a stalker, maybe we should call the cops scene.
No, back then, this was funny.
This was good, clean comedy. And then he aggravates the situation further by dressing up as her and going out with her stalker in a way that he never tells her he wasn't her. Al Pacino probably still thinks Jill went out with her. She's going to get some unsolicited dick pics, and Al Pacino's going to be like, yeah, we had a good night when I picked you up off that cruise ship.
We had a fun date, didn't we? We had some nice wrestling. We ate some cake.
Right?
I spoke fake Spanish.
Oh my God, the fake Spanish, the fake French. Al Pacino, he thinks he can speak foreign languages, but he can't, right?
Yeah, the subtitles pop up as just blibbly blobbly blooply blue.
Right? Like, I watch movies with, like, subtitles on, and so, the caption subtitles come up as, like, speaks gibberish Spanish, and then, like, the big yellow captions that come on in the movie so that you know what he's saying in the other language are like blibbity blobbity blop blip blip gibberish.
He thinks he can speak French. He thinks he can speak Spanish. But when you see the subtitles come up, it's literally just gibberish like gibbly gobbledy, and then the occasional actual word like shoe.
Right.
Or shoelace or whatever.
Yeah, it was shoelace. You know what's a prime missed opportunity here? And would have been funnier than the way the movie was actually done.
What's that?
Is if Al Pacino had also accidentally, when he was doing his gibberish fake Spanish, spoken some of their twin language.
That would have been hilarious.
Right? Especially if, like, he said something, like, terrible, like insulted their mother or, like, called her an ugly whore or something like that.
And with the intention of calling her a beautiful flower or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really funny, actually, if... that would have been a smart screenwriting move, but of course this is not a smart movie.
Right. Or even if he's, like, just thinking he's doing the gibberish Spanish and he thinks he's, like, getting, ordering food for her, and she's thinking he's like, I love you, you're so beautiful, and she's gushing and she says it back to him, and then in the meantime, though, he's got no idea what she's actually saying.
Yeah.
Like a classic miscommunication.
Yeah, that would have been a lot funnier than what we got.
Right?
That said, I think Al Pacino is probably the highlight of this movie, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, despite how creepy all of his parts are, where he just shows up in a coat room right as Jill pops in to get her coat.
Yes!
And when he like calls her and shows up at Jack's home.
Yup, he does that.
And shows up at not the graduation party, but the get together for the high schoolers, the reunion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he shows up as the Man of La Mancha, Don Quixote.
Yes.
Yeah, showing up and doing all that creepy shit. Despite all that, Al Pacino is still the highlight of this movie because he's got all the comedic timing down. He's the funniest.
Yep.
He's playing against his own type, the serious actor.
Yep. Plus, he was a pretty good singer. When he started singing to Dream the Impossible Dream, I was impressed.
Yeah. I didn't mind it. It was good. Mm-hmm. And when he finally showed up as Don Quixote, I thought he looked appropriate.
Right. I also liked that he poked fun at himself with his, was that an Oscar?
Yeah, his Oscar for Scent of a Woman.
Yes, where they broke it and he's, I'm sure you have more. And he's like, you'd think, but no.
Womp, womp.
That was funny. You go, Al Pacino. You're probably not as big of a horn dog as they made you out to be, but then again, you are a man. Yeah. And you are a rich man, so it is possible.
Who knows what the hell Al Pacino is like? I think I read someplace he used to go out with Beverly D'Angelo. But that's really all I know about his romantic life or life, whatever. Mm-hmm. I think he's one of those guys that kind of keeps things personal.
I'd let him sniff my scent. He's old, but he can still get it.
He's not a bad-looking guy for being 80.
Right, and he moved pretty well.
Yeah, and that commercial where he did the Dunkachino thing, because what Jack is trying to do here is get Al Pacino to play in this shitty Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Mm-hmm. And they figure he's a serious actor playing Richard III on whatever play stage there is in L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to do it right. But then they show a video of him online melting down at one of the shows because someone was using their phone.
Yes.
And they realize, oh, okay, he's going to do that commercial. All right.
Oh, yeah, he's going to do that commercial because he needs some good press, and also he may have dementia.
Yeah. It really looked like he might have dementia on that stage based on how he reacted. He didn't... After he started bitching about the phone, Al Pacino was making like he didn't really know where he was anymore.
Yeah, and there were a few scenes like that.
There were a few scenes like that, like especially when he gets into the whole character thing because he's a method actor type, and method acting is a little crazy.
Oh, a little crazy?
Yeah, it messes with your head when you do it. Let me clue you. It's not something that you really want to do all that badly.
I'm not even confident that it's something that messes with your head as so much as that it's just an excuse for method actors to be assholes with no
absolutely.
consequence. You never see women method acting.
You know, I don't know.
You name me one woman method actor.
I'd have to do like a Google search. I can't think of any. Method acting is more like an old timey thing.
Yeah, if we behaved like Dustin Hoffman and Al Pacino and all them people did, we'd get punched.
Yeah. Method acting is like one of those things from the 60s, 70s, maybe 80s that like, you know, Jack Nicholson and all those guys would do. You really don't see it that much anymore. Because
it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks for everyone in their families.
Yep.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis was a method actor, too, and he drove his wife nuts with that shit. That's probably why he retired.
Well, she's like, it's retirement or divorce. Your move.
Ah, well, I shall put in my notice this year, darling. Oh, Al Pacino, you silly, silly bitch. That commercial at the end of the movie was probably the highlight of the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah, with their little boy band dance. Super cute.
He pops in and into this Dunkin' Donuts restaurant. He wants to show off his little blends. He even throws in a bunch of his movie lines. Say hello to my chocolate blends.
Yes.
What's my name? Dunkachino. Say that name? Dunkachino. Dunkachino. And he's even doing this crazy dance that goes along with it. And
yep.
Al Pacino, I did not know he could move. That is a 71-year-old man moving like that.
Right? Moving like he's got skates on.
Son of a bitch is limber for 71.
Right? Only thing that little commercial was missing was like Justin Timberlake.
Huh. I think we could live without him.
Oh, we certainly could. I bet he's a real dick of a person.
If there's anyone who deserves to appear in an Adam Sandler movie, it's Justin Timberlake.
Yes!
I mean, Jessica Biel already appealed in one. Why not Justin Timberlake?
I would like to see, no offense, because he may be a nice person, but I kind of suspect you're a dick, Justin Timberlake.
He is a dick.
I would like to see you fail spectacularly, get like canceled by everybody, and then I want to see like the tragic bioepic of Justin Timberlake's life played out by that guy who won second place in the first year of American Idol. That other Justin.
The second year of American Idol?
First year of American Idol. The guy who came in second place. That from Justin to Kelly guy.
Oh, God. I didn't even know. I don't remember that guy at all.
I want to see him play Justin Timberlake in the failed bioepic, in the successful bioepic of his failed life. That is what I would like to see.
Oh, God. I can't even remember who that guy is. That's how memorable he was.
Justin something.
Justin something? Who cares?
I don't know.
I want him to
do it. I think he got to do one movie and nothing else.
You want to see him played by a nobody?
Yes, because it's what he deserves.
I want to see him played by Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is way too old.
I don't care. He is not. Nicolas Cage can do anything.
And he looks nothing like him.
I don't care.
At least American Idol Justin looks like Timberlake.
Nicolas Cage will play Justin Timberlake because Nicolas Cage can play anything.
Are you kidding me right now?
No. I will have Nicolas Cage, or I will have nothing.
You're an idiot.
I will settle for Will Ferrell.
You're really gonna tell me this guy doesn't look like he could be poor man's Justin Timberlake?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Yes.
You kidding me? The only thing he's ever done is Little Sweet. For the Dr. Pepper commercial, he's Little Sweet. Oh my God. What a loser.
Wow, maybe this will be his springboard to stardom.
Oh God.
This bioepic of Justin Timberlake that I now plan to write.
Oh, I'm an ass.
With specifically Justin Guarini in mind.
Justin Guarini, I'm sorry. but I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to put my foot down and demand Nicolas Cage.
Because you know Nicolas Cage has literally never turned down a role.
I know, it's gonna be great.
Okay, wait, speaking of that, why was Nicolas Cage not in this movie? Were you guys too good to cast Nicolas Cage? You know he would have done it.
Hey, don't worry. Nicolas Cage will get his Adam Sandler movie.
Right? Like, talk about somebody whose career would survive an Adam Sandler movie.
There are certain actors who are like cinematic cockroaches. Right? Yeah. Adam Sandler's one of them, because this guy's been in, like, so much trash, then he turns around and does fucking Uncut Gems.
Right out of nowhere, because he can. That was just a flex. That was big dick energy, Adam Sandler.
He went in, he did Punch Drunk Love, he said, fuck this, I'm making shit movies. Then, like, 20...
Rain on Me.
Like, 17 years later, he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do Uncut Gems. And then he does that.
Yep.
And now he's got all the... He's got the flex going again. And then there's Nicolas Cage, who's been in shit after shit after shit. But then he does Vampire's Kiss early in his career. And he does Racing Arizona. And then he does Leaving Las Vegas. And he wins a goddamn Oscar.
And then he does National Treasure.
National Treasure was shit, too.
How dare you insult National Treasure? That is an American classic.
National Treasure was shit. I don't... You can't even speak because you know I'm right. You can't say you're speechless because you know my point is correct.
Fine, I digress.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Oh, speaking of shit, you remember when Jill was having chimichanga bombs after going to that picnic with the gardener?
Okay, the gardener picnic scene was my favorite in the entire movie.
I know, it was so much fun. It was kind of a wholesome scene, except for like the very end part where Jill scores the soccer goal and then all the people pick her up and one of them checks under her dress to make sure she's not a man.
Yeah, right up until then. It was adorable.
Yeah, that I didn't like that, but everything else was pretty cool because, you know, she's trying all the food and she's having fun with...
She'd never even had Mexican food, not even just chimichangas. Yeah. She'd never had Mexican food.
Because they didn't serve it at her deli.
Right? Man, talk about a lady who doesn't get out much.
This lady only goes to what, a Jewish deli?
I don't know.
A kosher deli?
Maybe.
Wow.
She only goes to her Bronx deli.
Okay, well, I guess you'd have a pretty limited diet then if you only went to your deli and nowhere else.
I guess.
I mean, for Christ's sake, isn't there a Taco Bell somewhere nearby?
Probably, but not in her deli.
It's off the path. I can't go to Taco Bell.
No.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I like how every time the old grandma would pass out, they'd wake her up with the hot peppers.
Oh, God, that was it. I mean, it was funny, don't get me wrong, but I was also watching that part going, this feels racist.
It definitely was, but it was hilarious.
This feels racist, but I can't help it. It's kind of funny still.
Right.
It's like, what? What is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be Mexican first aid here?
Yep.
Stick a jalapeno in their mouths and they come back to life.
That brings you back. If you're sick, you put Vicks Vapo Rub on it.
Who needs the Vicks Vapo Rub and the smelling salts? Get the jalapenos.
Right, clears you right out.
It wakes you up, and it also shoots out the other end.
Right? Oh, you got the chimichanga bombs. I like how the gardener found that endearing.
Oh, the Felipe. Felipe's hilarious. Felipe's played by, God, I don't remember his name, but he was in Overboard with Anna Faris recently.
Oh, okay.
So he was also in that movie that Instructions Not Included, where he only spoke in Spanish for the whole movie.
Nice.
But all the other characters were, some of the other characters were speaking in English because he was working as a stuntman in America.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been in some things, and he's actually he's a pretty decent actor. I like him a lot.
Okay.
Pretty funny guy.
Cool.
As we can see here, because he keeps making all these ethnic jokes and goes, I'm kidding.
Oh my God, right?
I want to know, did he have those lines written for him, or did he make those up on his own?
I bet he made them up. They were legit hilarious.
Because I feel like he's just poking at the stereotypes going, I'm kidding.
I am more excited than when I got out of the car after driving 1,100 miles across the border.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. There's no food. Bitch. It's a Hispanic gathering. There's always food.
That son of a bitch is funny.
Right? Hilarious.
Oh, I read that he got promoted a lot as a part of this movie, especially when they were showing it in Mexico. But when the Mexican people finally went to see it, they were a little pissed because his part was really small, and the promotional material made it look like he had a bigger part than he did.
Oh, yeah, I would have actually liked to see more of him in this.
Yeah, if they had focused more on him and maybe a little less on, creepy Al Pacino,
right?
This probably would have been a little bit more. Well, Al Pacino was one of the highlights, so maybe if they just focused on Al and Felipe and less on Adam Sandler as a whole.
Right? Yeah, you can never go wrong with focusing less on Adam Sandler's characters.
It's terrible. It's an Adam Sandler movie.
The best Adam Sandler movies are the ones where he just does a bit part.
I guess
not always, but in some of his comedies.
To be fair, though, maybe where Adam Sandler is not the complete and absolute focus is probably best, because That's My Boy was fucking hilarious.
That was hilarious, and I shouldn't make that judgment about all of Adam Sandler's movies, because I thoroughly enjoy his 90s comedies, like your Waterboys and your Billy Madisons.
Ugh. In the end, Jill kind of falls in love with the gardener, which kind of surprised me, to be honest.
Oh, because she's a racist?
Yeah, she's a racist, and also, it didn't seem like they had all that much time together to form any kind of relationship, but, whatever. I guess at least it counts for a happy ending.
Yeah, I think she was just kind of swept off her feet by the first guy that's been genuinely nice to her and attracted to her in a not fetishizing way.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know, he just seems real easygoing.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. Before this, Jack was trying to hook her up with a bunch of dates online.
Oh my God.
And that was, to be fair, it was funny. It was really funny.
Yes.
And we got to have a nice scene with Norm Macdonald, who I wish was in more stuff because I love Norm Macdonald.
You do.
I mean, Norm Macdonald is funny as hell. And he doesn't get anywhere near enough credit.
That's not as much credit as your founding father of comedy.
What, Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
Founding father of comedy?
He's got some weird thing for Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, founding father of comedy.
Look out for it. It's a thing. He's obsessed with it.
I know, because it's the truth. I only speak truth on this podcast. I don't feed anyone bullshit.
Comedy is older than Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, founding father of comedy.
Get out of here. He's the worst. So poor Jill is on these dating sites, and Jack's kids are helping her get set up right because they know how to do the computer.
Oh, God.
And in Jill's words, I don't even have a calculator.
She is so...
Or a laser.
She's so technologically inept that she doesn't even understand how to use a mouse.
Right.
She thinks that the computer monitor is a touchscreen.
Yes, and this was before touchscreens were really a thing.
Yeah, back in 2011, we really didn't have the whole touchscreen thing going on a wide basis yet.
Right, and there's no reason to have assumed that Jack's character would have had a touchscreen computer.
Indeed, yes.
Not for that work.
So, of all the websites to decide on, she could have chosen from Match.com or eHarmony.
Uh-huh.
Or, what's another popular one? I don't know.
Bumble.
Really?
Tinder.
Yeah, what one of those, one of the popular ones. Instead, she settles on this obscure one called soulmate.net, which is probably one that you don't want to be on.
Right. It's going to be the Plenty of Fish made up dating sites.
I mean, this is the kind of place you probably don't want to give your credit card info to.
Right. And so then when his kids are like taking the profile picture for her, she picks this horrible angle. She's holding a big sandwich. Like
And her mouth is agape like she's about to take a bite. Like, why would you pick this picture,
right?
Jill?
It was not ladylike.
She was definitely putting her best foot forward, and by best foot forward, I mean she was just laying it out there.
Right? She put her big ol' Adam Sandler-sized foot forward.
Like the one from Zohan.
Yup. Oh.
The one where you take the foot out and you smell it before you
Sniff
get the kick.
Foot. You just the feet uppercut.
Smell it, now take it.
Oh.
And unfortunately, Fun Bucket took it later because he went cruising on Craigslist.org.
Yes, it was like, let me lie just the right amount. So he's like, what do you say? I need a hot, crazy, personal masseuse.
Yeah, Jack decides to make a Craigslist ad because Jill's not getting any clicks on her soulmate.net account.
Yes.
So, he whips up a Craigslist ad with a bunch of exaggerated bullshit from all the stuff she's been doing there. Like, oh, she's a naka because she accidentally choked out his wife while giving her a massage. And and then she also got knocked out by the
Price is Right
wheel. The Price is Right wheel when she was right next to Drew Carey.
That thing at the end where they spin it and you're trying to get $1. Yeah. Knocked herself out with that.
Yeah, she knocked herself out with that. And then this guy named Fun Bucket, played by Norm Macdonald, answers the ad. And they go out, and he's horrified.
Oh, yeah. And, he's horrified just based on how Jill looks. And he thinks he's maybe going to be polite and finish the date and go Dutch. And then eventually he can't handle it.
And then Jill speaks, and he has to get the hell out of there.
Yep, so he's like, let me just go use the bathroom.
Unfortunately, the bathroom doesn't have a window.
Right.
Wah,
right.
wah.
And, y'all are at an advantage. You guys don't have to, excuse me, let me go to the bathroom. And then try and, take your purse and your jacket and the whole bit with you. Your shit's already in your pockets.
I know.
Just peace out of Dodge.
It's one of those nice little, it's one of the nice parts about the patriarchy. Is that all your shit's already on your purse and you don't have to get too crazy about which parts you bring along with you.
All right.
Of course, if it's during the winter, you might be in a hard spot because you got to find a way to bring your coat.
That's why men invented coat check.
Ah, yes.
So you're not picking it up with you in the middle of the restaurant when you're ghosting your date.
You sneak out the window and then you creep back in to get your coat. and then you just piece the fuck out.
Right. You're like, I wouldn't stop for my coat, but my phone is in there and I need it to call my Uber.
Excuse me, I'm ditching my date. Can I get my coat?
Right. I'll leave you an excellent tip if you just tell her that I'm in the bathroom. Dropping some chimichanga bombs.
Here's a $5. Can I get some change back?
Oh, God, no. Now they're going to tell your date you left. You can be cheap or you can quietly ditch your date, but you can't do both.
It's a little unusual that Jill got, no hits from any of these websites, because usually when women sign up on these places, they get absolutely bombarded.
Right? And, is Jill an attractive woman? No, but she is a woman, and men are not picky.
No, men are horny.
It's the internet. It'd be one thing if you took Jill to a bar, but this is the internet, and they live in, L.A. or something?
Yeah, there is a man someplace, or several men, who are more than willing to go about and, go out with Jill.
Oh, yeah. If anything, she really should have just kept with her best foot forward, her truest foot forward, and found a freaky deaky guy who's into everything she's got to offer.
Dude, someone would have gone for it.
Right? Somebody had been like, oh man, I love birds.
I love birds and mouthfuls of sandwich and women who look like bricks.
Right? And women who drop such a chimichanga bomb that you gotta open 2 windows and burn a candle.
I always wanted a woman that looked like a Black & Decker.
Yeah, she thick. Thick and rich, as my friend would say.
Well, I suppose now's the time where we should go right into our Amazon reviews for this particular masterpiece of a movie.
My favorite part.
As always, we've culled 5-star reviews and 1-star reviews. We've got 3 5-star reviews and 3 1-star reviews from Amazon.com. We always start with a 5-star review, so let's get right into this. Our first review comes from Movie Addict, who says, "This movie is hysterical. Dunkachino, Dunkachino.
Oh, God.
Give me a break. Everyone who blasts this movie has obviously no sense of humor. It is one of those Adam Sandler movies that you could watch 100 times and still find something new to laugh about. And Katie Holmes, which I am not even a fan of, played her part really well. Here's to another crazy Adam Sandler movie with lots of laughs and just a good, silly time."
I think my biggest problem with that review is that they implied one of those Adam Sandler movies you can watch 100 times and find something new. As though Jack and Jill is one of a proud line of Adam Sandler movies with nuances of comedy to discuss.
My guy, does this guy think this movie is like Blade Runner or some shit where you keep finding things in the movie?
Right? What the fuck?
There's no layers to Jack and Jill, my dude.
There are not.
And what part are we even talking about with Katie Holmes? Katie Holmes barely had a part.
Right? She had like 2 speaking lines.
She was... I don't want to speak negatively about Katie Holmes, but she was literally just like background dressing for the fucking movie.
Right. She was just there to play the wife so that Adam Sandler's character didn't have to play jaded divorced guy. He could just be jaded twin.
For Christ's sake, Kate Beckinsale had a more nuanced part in Click than Katie Holmes had here.
I forgot that was Kate Beckinsale in Click.
Yeah, she was in Click. And her part was better.
He never gives his wives speaking roles.
Well, they had speaking roles, but they didn't have...
Not like prominent speaking. For somebody who should be like a prominent secondary character.
Yeah, she didn't have a major part at all. I bet she was like tertiary.
Like, what's her name on that bad Christmas movie we watched had a lot better lines. The one with Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Deck the Halls.
Yeah, Deck the Halls. Those wives had better speaking lines than Katie Holmes did in this.
Yeah, they did. That's unfortunate. That's really bad.
It's true, though. You know I'm right. Yeah.
Goddamn, Adam Sandler.
Why are you such a sexist?
Jesus Christ. Poor Katie Holmes. She didn't deserve to have her career ruined by this fucking garbage.
Right? Not after she finally escaped from Scientology.
Ugh. You escaped from Scientology only to have your career wrecked.
By Adam Sandler. And then when you got no money left in Scientology's like, come back to us.
Swell. Our next review comes from Claudia, who says, "You gotta love Adam Sandler."
You do, though.
"This was one funny movie. Our family laughed all the way through it. I love the character Jill. OMG. Adam Sandler did a great job. Much more believable than characters like Tootsie or Mrs. Doubtfire."
What? Excuse the shit out of me!
Woo! This is a clean, funny movie your kids can watch.
Clean, funny movie your kids can watch about checking for a penis.
Loved many of the characters. Al Pacino, Katie Holmes, Jack's son, the homeless guy.
Love these characters, like the homeless guy who didn't get a name.
Otto, you mean? See, even I remember his name.
Poor Otto.
Adam Sandler won a Kids' Choice Award for this movie.
This movie was for kids?
I don't think it was for kids. I think the kids just liked it.
God.
Yeah. It was even funnier the second time we watched it. We rented it, and then we liked it so much, we went ahead and bought it. I think I may love this one even more than Waterboy.
Shut your whore mouth, Claudia.
Our family is even starting our own secret language. Pagogo.
No, Panono. What's wrong with people?
Oh, that was a joy. And our last 5-star review comes from BJ Dulaski, who says, "Loved it."
Adam Sandler is funny as himself, but make him a girl that is supposed to be his twin sister. Then you got a picture that will have you crying with laughter. It was so very funny. We watch it over and over. Al Pacino was great, too. I don't see how he pulled it off without laughing. Must have been a lot of takes for that movie. God damn. How dare you say Al Pacino was great as a footnote in a movie he deigned to appear in?
I mean, for God's sake, Al Pacino demanded that Adam Sandler burn the footage at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And we know he's not talking about the commercial.
No, he's not. The movie became sentient.
And Al Pacino knew what he had to do and made demands that unfortunately went unmet.
Yeah.
Well, let's go right to our 1-star reviews now and check out this one from Gary, who says, garbage!
That's all you need. That's a whole review.
I usually like Adam Sandler. Happy Gilmore is one of my favorites, as is The Wedding Singer. This is a pile of garbage. Pretty sure it skipped the box office and went off the DVD right off.
Nah.
What can be said is a saving grace for this film. Someone actually wasted a lot of money to make it. Al Pacino was garbage as well.
Ouch!
Never thought I would say that. Anyway, avoid this overacted, overrated dog pile, even if it is free. You would be happier watching golf or badminton.
Holy hell!
Oh, that's a review, all right.
That was so mean!
And our second review comes from Christopher, who says, do yourself a favor and do not buy this. I hate this movie. My kids love it. There should be a law against selling this. Why in God's name did someone read this script and think it was a great idea? If you have stumbled across this and are considering buying this movie, do yourself a favor and anyone you remotely care about a favor and move on. Trust me, you will not get the time you wasted watching this back on your deathbed. Watching paint dry is more constructive and, dare I say, more entertaining than watching this movie.
Oh, God.
Yes, I realize that Adam Sandler makes more money and has more of a following than I ever have. But that still doesn't excuse the fact that this movie should be considered a hate crime against humanity.
Jesus!
Happy Gilmore, funny and entertaining. This movie, oh God, I think I'm going to be sick again.
Oh my God, Christopher.
And our last 1-star review comes from Katz, who says, what were they thinking?
Oh, I don't know, Katz. I sure wish I had read these comments before I spent the money on the horrible, horrible movie. Now I'm trying to think of who I dislike enough to give this DVD to. The funniest part was the very beginning and very end with the real twins. They should have stopped there. Al Pacino should buy up all these DVDs so they never get seen by the public. I can't believe he was even a part of this. Just wish I could have back that hour and some minutes of my life.
Ouch. Well, Amazon reviews, everyone. Those were some very, very lovely observations. I appreciate all of them.
The title for the review under that one was Hot Salty Garbage.
Lessons learned. Speaking of lessons learned, did we learn anything from this movie?
Yeah, we learned Adam Sandler makes an sinfully ugly woman.
Oh, God. Well, I learned that there's apparently no difference between fraternal and identical twins.
No. I learned that Al Pacino is a fucking horn dog.
I learned that chimichanga bombs are common in the Latin community.
Sexy, even.
Indeed. They are an aphrodisiac. If I ever hook up with... I should have known that when I hooked up with you, that all I need is to drop some chimichanga bombs and that'll be my in.
Right, man, you had them enchiladas the other day, and then they went right through you, and it was...
Love.
Oh, shit. I don't know if I learned anything else from this movie.
I guess if I want to pass as a woman, I need to put a life jacket on my ass.
Well, yeah, and some, what were those, coconuts or cantaloupes, maybe? I think they were cantaloupes.
Yeah, I think they were cantaloupes. I don't know how they didn't, soak his bra or anything.
Oh, I don't think they were peeled yet. I want to know how they didn't pop, though, when he got pushed over.
Like this didn't explode right on the floor.
Right? They just shift up to his shoulders. Yeah, right. That's not how fruit works.
Fruit would have exploded and just spilled right out over the floor, and Al Pacino's castle.
Would have mixed in with the E. coli and staph infection that he got from shaving his chest with toilet water. There's something I learned. I don't care how desperate you are to get rid of your stubble, never shave with toilet water.
Oh, shaving with toilet water apparently is just fine. All this propaganda telling us to use clean water and everything. Don't shave in the toilet. Psh.
Just propaganda from big water against big toilet.
Lessons from Jack and Jill, ladies and gentlemen.
He should have gone up a hill to fetch a pail of water to shave.
He did. He went and got the toilet water. It's an outhouse at the top of that hill. And that's just as clean, if not cleaner.
Shit always rolls downhill.
See? I got a point.
Yeah, the point is don't put an outhouse at the top of a hill. That's a terrible plan.
Make sure you got some razors in there, just in case.
Oh, God.
So, what's your final rating for this movie?
Don't watch it. My rating is 2 pails of shit that were fetched from the top of the hill, and Jack tripped going down the hill, and now he's covered in shit. Jill came tumbling after it. She's also covered in shit. Jesus Christ. I guess my rating for this movie is a pair of shit-covered twins.
Jesus Christ.
And an empty shit bucket. What do you give this movie, SoulKeeper?
I give this movie a broken Academy Award on Al Pacino's shelf. And an oversized birthday cake that Jill has popped out of.
And a medium caramel Dunkachino.
Yeah, that belongs to Fun Bucket.
Yeah. Or he's just trying desperately to stay at the top of the ceiling. There was no window in that bathroom, so Fun Bucket was like hiding it on the roof, like when Matilda hides on the top of that table from this trench bowl.
I also give this movie 1 David Spade belly button ring.
Oh yeah, he looked pretty good. I kind of wonder if that was a belly plate or his real belly button.
I don't know.
I think it might have been his real belly button, but I think he probably shaved his stomach.
Yeah, probably.
Whereas that breastplate was most definitely fake.
Ironically, David Spade does appear in this movie in a cameo as a woman, and he makes for a more passable woman than Adam Sandler does.
Yeah, him they might have patted.
Yeah,
But also, he's just slender.
There's
and short.
It's sad.
And he's always had that long hair, so it kind of suits.
Right. So he just looks better. He looks better than Adam Sandler did.
Mm-hmm. Some people just are a little more androgynous than others. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, I gotta say, don't watch this movie. It's not as bad as Zohan. But
if you asked me which one to watch first, I'd have to flip a coin to tell you.
Pretty much. I mean, this one is just so unlikable.
Right.
And Jill is so abrasive that it's really hard to look at this and say, oh yeah, guys, if you're going to watch one of these Adam Sandler movies, go ahead and watch Jack and Jill because it's a riot.
Right. It's like asking, do you want to have to push out a constipated shit or do you want to have diarrhea? Neither option's fun.
If I had to choose between the two of these, I would rather just go shave with the toilet water. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say skip it.
Yeah, definitely skip it.
And for God's sake, watch something better, you dumbass.
Right? Like perhaps the movie that we're going to be enjoying for our next podcast.
Yes, what did we decide it was going to be?
It is a favorite in my household. We are going to do Without a Paddle.
Oh boy, we're gonna watch Without a Paddle.
I love Without a Paddle.
God help us all.
This movie's so great. It really doesn't even belong on the Bad Movie podcast, but for some reason it got a 14 or 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, because it's shit.
So here we go.
It's a shitty movie. It's so bad. It's
got Matthew Lillard and Seth, what's his last name?
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yeah, it got low ratings because it sucks.
And Dax Shepard.
It sucks.
Oh, it's a classic.
It sucks.
It's a classic.
It sucks. Sucks.
It's so good, guys. It's so good.
All right, well, we're going to pound that one up our butts when we get a chance.
Yes. I'm so excited for this one. We needed a palate cleanser after.
Palate cleanser, you call it? It's not a palate cleanser, it's a palate destroyer. It's going to be bitter all the way down.
I would watch this movie even if we weren't doing a podcast on it. I love Without a Paddle.
It's like driving a nail into your tongue.
I remember how upset you were the first time I showed it to you. Because I promised it was going to be hilarious, and you're just watching it, and I'm laughing my ass off, and you're sitting there like a miser.
I think I remember saying it's horrible.
And I was like, no, don't make me break up with you because you have no taste in comedy.
Shut up. You don't have any room to talk about taste.
Just because I got a shelf and a half of Adam Sandler?
You filth monster. Got a shelf and a half of Adam Sandler. You parading around Without a Paddle as a model for good movies.
It's a great movie.
Shut up.
It's a classic comedy.
Your opinions are no longer valid.
Oh, worth it.
God damn it.
You guys should watch it ahead of time so you can keep up.
Yeah.
Also, just because it's a great movie and everybody should see it at least once.
Yeah, you guys go ahead, check it out. And you know what? Watch it, and then we'll see how you guys feel, and you can see how we feel about it. Go ahead and if you're on our YouTube channel, be sure you check that out because we got our review from a couple of reviews ago. We post reviews bi-weekly now. We post an old one in between those weeks.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you know what? Jack and Jill sucked and it was boring, so I didn't do screenshots. Without a Paddle is hilarious, so I think I'm going to do screenshots.
Oh, so we're only doing screenshots for the fun ones now.
I mean, the ones that have something worth showing. Jack and Jill didn't even have, like, the wrong Missy. If we hadn't been watching them separate, I would have done screenshots.
All right, you could have taken a shot at Dunkachino.
Yeah, I could have. All right, we can rewatch it long enough to do a shot of Dunkachino.
Miser.
But that's not really live tweeting the movie if you only put up one tweet and it's Al Pacino.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, we're going to watch Without a Paddle. Be sure you check us out on our YouTube channel, An Unfortunate Case of Movie. We just got our first subscriber, so that's pretty cool. Hope he sticks around. Or he, she, they, whichever. And if you want to subscribe to that, please go ahead and check that out because our next review that we're going to post on there is going to be You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Yep. And our last review was That's My Boy. That's going to be on our Spotify if you want to check that out.
That's My Boy.
Yeah.
It was not good, but it was better than people make it out to be.
Yeah, I definitely would not call that one of the worst movies ever made.
I would change That's My Boy's diaper before I would watch You Don't Mess with the Zohan again.
We might talk about the worst movies we've ever seen sometime.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's My Boy is not going to make the list.
No, whereas Zohan for sure will.
Because I've definitely seen some really horrible movies. Like, you have no idea, my dudes.
Right. But you will know if you keep following this channel.
Absolutely. You're going to see things that you wish you hadn't seen, I'm sorry to say. And also, if you want to follow our Twitter page at, Unfortunate Case of Movie, go ahead and take a look at that. And I talk about movies that we're watching regularly. Right now, I'm watching Just Friends for the hell of it. And
yeah, he'll test out movies.
Yeah, and I'll see how I feel about them and whether or not they're worth watching.
He's like your friend that likes to put needles in his tongue and his eyeballs and his scrotum just because he likes pain.
We don't. What's the point is if we don't watch the shit?
I mean, we do watch the shit, but you're the one who likes to pre-screen the shit just to see how shitty it is. You're like the one out there on your day off with like...
Well, what are we supposed to do then? We're supposed to watch the shit.
Yeah, I know. But again, everybody else has a life outside of it. And you're the one there on your day off panning for shit at the side of the river with your little shit sieve. Just like scraping poop nuggets to see what sticks.
This is my life. I watch shit.
Yes.
It's what I do.
Yes. It's your defining characteristic.
I hate myself.
Oh, that's a dark turn.
If you want to follow my personal account, you can follow me at SoulKeever, where I just talk about random bullshit most of the time. So if you're not interested in that, you don't have to bother. And then you can follow Astrid at Angry Astrid, where she does pretty much the same thing.
Yep.
So if you just want to hear about the movies and stuff, follow us at Unfortunate Case of Movie. Anyway, guys, really hope you appreciated this. Actually, our Twitter handle, I should correct myself, is just Case of Movie.
Yes.
The complete name, though, is, An Unfortunate Case of Movie. So apologies for that. Anyway, we're gonna head out now. We're gonna go screen some bullshit and probably cram without a paddle up our butts.
Yeah!
That's how we roll. Thanks again for watching, or not for watching, but for listening, guys. And until then, with love from us to you, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.